Well, looks like we're live here. I hope you can see us. Go ahead and let us know in the chat to make sure that you can see and hear us.
Hello.
Hello. That's us. You can move over a little bit. You don't have to be right.
Oh.
All right. Phil wants to know if there's something we should be aware of.
We've just had a few reports that people aren't seeing their Google Photos when they upgrade to the Android 10. It seems to be that the fix has to do with permissions. Somehow updating your Android system turns off some permissions. So they're not gone. They're just not being seen right.
Okay. It's 2 o'clock and time for episode number 175 of What Does This Button Do? It's an educational show about smartphones and technology with Geeks on Tour. Today's beginner's lesson is Google Photos, questions answered, but first a quick tip. What do you have, Chris?
Well, this is one that you taught me and I use constantly. And I said, gee, we need to tell people about this. This has to do with Gmail and the fact that you can just swipe messages off to delete them or snooze them or other things. So I want to show you and I'm just using our sample phone here because it doesn't have any setup, and we're talking about Gmail. First, you have to look at your settings. So the three-line menu and settings. And under general settings, we're talking about swipe actions. Swipe meaning when you want to push a message to the left or to the right. And you have lots of choices by default. So this one has not been touched. And by default, when you swipe either left or right, you're just going to be archiving. But if you tap on change, I have gotten used to swiping left to delete. So that's what I want. When I swipe left, I want to delete, put that message in the trash. And when I swipe right, I like it to snooze, meaning get it away for right now, but bring it back at a certain time. You tap on snooze, and let me show you what that looks like then. So I'm just backing out of all my settings. They're all Alan's settings. This is Alan's phone. And if I swipe left, what did I do? Did I do it wrong?
I don't know.
Because that's snooze. I must have done. I did it wrong. When I swipe left, it should have deleted. General settings, swipe action. Yeah, right.
She doesn't know her right from
I don't
her left.
know my right from my left. Okay, that one I wanted to be snooze, and left I wanted to be delete. Okay. Now I swipe left, and it's in the trash. So how often do you do that?
I do that just to clean out my inbox all the time. I swipe left, swipe left.
So easy.
Right.
Just say, that's garbage, that's garbage, that's garbage. Now, if you see one that you do want, but you still want to clean out your inbox, you're not ready to deal with it yet, swipe right, and it says, okay, I will snooze. When do you want me to bring it back? Later today, tomorrow, next week, next weekend, or pick a date and time.
Pretty cool.
I think that is just way cool. And that's my quick tip.
All right. Let's see what we got here. I think I want this one. Oh, sign up for our free newsletters, geeksontour.com news, subscribe to the channel, and get Mrs. Geek's Guide to Google Photos at Amazon. All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Jim, and here together with my wife, Chris, we're Geeks on Tour. Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And do you have questions about your Android phone or your iPad? And how do you learn about these amazing devices?
Well, we are geeks who teach, and we think that the best way to learn is constantly, all the time, but in bite-sized pieces on a regular basis. So that's why we do this show. And all of our content, all of our tutorial videos and these shows are archived on our website, geeksontour.com.
Right. So, Chris, where are we now?
I have no idea. Where are we?
Foxborough, Massachusetts. We're here for a road trek rally this week, and we'll be doing some seminars. But last week, we had a cool time. What did we do?
We were in New York City. We actually stayed in the city at an Airbnb for a couple of nights in order to be rested and ready to teach at Senior Planet. And we taught a Google Photos class, and they had lots of questions, which is what kind of prompted the topic for this week. We've taught at Senior Planet in New York City before, and we hope to teach at other senior planets around the country, like maybe Denver in November.
Yeah, we're going to be out there for a Google Photos Product Experts, right?
Right.
Cool. What do you got? We're out of costume.
We're out of costume.
We are geeks.
Also known as propeller heads.
And it works. Okay, the Backstage Pass is for premium members only, and we'll do that right after this show. It's an online meeting using Zoom technology, and if you're a member, you should have gotten an email, but if you didn't get that email or you can't find it, just log in at geeksontour.com.
And you just scroll down a little bit and you will see that link on the member login page.
Okay, let's see. A bunch of people are here, and we'd like to say hi to all of them.
Catherine, Jalen,
Richard, Bill and Karen, Jerry, Michael Daniels. So good to see you all here.
And we will be seeing you in Boulder, Colorado for the Google Product Experts.
That's right. Cool stuff. Our beginner's lesson today, Google Photos, questions answered. Chris is a product expert in Google Photos, and she wrote the book, Mrs. Geek's Guide to Google Photos.
Question number 1 is, will Google Photos upload duplicates? And no, but you need to understand the definition of a duplicate, because that is one of people's biggest complaints, is that they do see a lot of duplicates in their Google Photos library. But we want to prove to you that it does not upload the exact same picture. Now, there's lots of photos that look like they're duplicates, but they're actually a different shot, right?
Absolutely. You take a dozen of a nice sunset.
Right.
And they look the same, but they aren't exactly the same.
They are not the same photo file.
Okay.
So what we're going to do here is I took a photo with this camera, and I'm going to give the SD card to Jim and tell him to put it in his computer.
All right. Excuse me. There we go.
And his computer is set to automatically import
Too much stuff going on here.
There you go. There's Google Photos.
I found it.
There's in using Google Photos in your Chrome browser, look at the top right, there is an upload button. So he can upload from the computer, and then we should see a dialog box. Take that long.
Dance.
But the point is...
There it is.
Okay.
And it didn't upload it again.
So go back. Yes, it did. Anything about it being in different locations or different file name. File name means nothing to Google Photos. But if you edited that picture at all, if you just did an auto on your computer and then went to upload it, you would have another picture. So any change to that photo does identify it as a second photo to Google Photos.
So an absolute identical picture photo will not go up there twice. You won't get duplicates for that. But if she took a couple of pictures of the van there, they would go up.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Back to the slides.
All right.
So that was the number 1 and 2. The exact same photos selected does not, and the same photo in a different location does not. But a photo that looks like a duplicate will go up if it's not a right file, or any edits, or even size. If you change the size, it may be the exact same photo, but a different resolution. That's a different photo for Google.
All right. If you add a photo to an album a second time, will the album show 2?
No. And this is really nice, and I'm just going to demonstrate that with my phone. So here also is a photo of the campground that we're at right now. And I want to add that to my album for, what are we, September? No.
Yes, absolutely.
So I add to album, and I want to add it to my September album. And if I look at my September album now, I will see that that photo is in it. I passed it. September. And all the way down at the bottom, there is the photo I just added. Now, if later today I'm going through my pictures and I say, oh, this picture needs to be in that album, and I go and add it again, once again, it will look like it did it. But this time it says 0 items added.
Cool.
Very good. And if I went and looked at that album, it's only there once.
Excellent. If I use the trash can to delete photos, then later change my mind, can I get them back?
Yes. If it has been less than 60 days and you haven't manually emptied the trash. And here's how you do it. So I'm going to select that picture by long pressing on it until it gets a little check mark, and that picture and that picture. And I tap the trash can. Move to trash, 3 items. Now, one of those that I just deleted was in an album, right?
Yeah, it was.
If I go looking at the album now, will that photo be there?
No. You deleted it.
I deleted it from the library. If it's not in the library, it cannot show up in an album. But then I say, oops, I didn't mean to do that.
What do you do?
Your trash is under the menu. 3 lines, trash. Find the photo.
Yeah.
Oh, they go back, and I've deleted some others since then. So that's the photo that I did not mean to delete. You have to select it, not open it, select it. And then you have the option to restore. And on the iPhone, that looks a little different, or on the computer, there's a little icon up at the top that says restore. When I restore, that picture is now back in my library, and it's back in the album. And it's back in the album.
Excellent.
But do not empty your trash if you want to do that.
Okay, can I download albums to my computer?
Yes, and we think you should. I take thousands of pictures in a month, but I just put my best couple hundred into an album. I want that album of photos on my computer, and here's how I do it.
And that's...
Hi, this is Chris Gould with Geeks on Tour, and this quick tutorial video is about downloading photos from Google Photos. Google Photos stores your entire library of photos in the cloud so you can see them with any connected device. But most people also want a copy on their local computer or backup hard drive. But here's the deal. On Google Photos, it stores all of my photos. I have thousands and thousands and so many similar shots. I don't need to have all of those. I don't want to have all of those on my hard drive. I have a plan of making a monthly album of just my best shots, and those albums I do download from the cloud in Google Photos to a backup hard drive on my computer. Let me show you how. First, I want to show you my hard drive. It is an external hard drive just plugged into my computer, and it has all sorts of stuff on it. But here is one folder where I put all my backup of my pictures, and I've been doing this for the whole time. And if I show you 2018, for example, you'll see that I have one file, a zip file, for each month, January, February, March. I also make a zip file for special occasions, like a diving trip that we went on. Now let me show you my Google Photos. So here I am in Google Photos, and as you know, it's just one giant stream throughout the years of my 70, 80,000 pictures, okay? So I make an album for each month. I click on Albums, and this is July 2019, so here is my album for June. I open that album and select the three-dot menu and download all. That creates a zip file, and then it stops and asks me where I want to store it. I want it on my Seagate backup drive in the Pictures folder, in the folder for 2019, and I like the album name, 2019-06 June, and it's a zip file. I click Save. If yours did not ask you where, then I recommend that you change your browser settings. On Chrome, it's the three dots in the upper right, then Settings, then Advanced all the way at the bottom, then Downloads. And notice I have this setting turned on to ask where to save each file before downloading. Otherwise, they all go to the same place. Your choice, but that's my recommendation. So now let me look at my hard drive. There is June, and I've already done January, March, but it's a zip file. Now, I think that's fine. This is my backup. I don't use my pictures on my computer. This is just if something should happen to my Google Photos, I have my best photos for June. If you do want them visible on your hard drive, then you just right-click and extract all, and it creates a folder with the same name as the zip file, and all your photos are inside there. On a Mac, you do the same thing, just double click. Rather than right clicking, you double click and it will unzip. Unzip your file, and there are all the photos. Last thing, what if you don't make albums? So you don't have an album for June, but you still want to make a zip file, a backup of all your June photos. You can just search for June 2019, then select, you click on the first one, and then you all the way down to the bottom, and you shift click on the last one. It tells me 245 pictures are selected. Those are all the ones from June 2019, and I click on download, and it will do the exact same thing I just showed you with an album. So now you can rest easy knowing that all of your photos are in Google Photos, but you also have your best for every month locally on your hard drive.
Well, I understand that I messed up, and I did not have the sound on for Chris's demo when I was on the screen. So we're going to do those over, and we'll edit those out for the.
Now, was it the computer screen in
It was
addition to the
this
phone
screen.
screen?
It was this screen right here.
Oh, so that's
Okay.
all of it.
Yep.
Okay.
So go back.
Well, Just plain start over. Will it upload duplicates? No, but it has a narrow definition. So if you didn't see, when he selected the photo that was on the SD card, it uploaded to his Google Photos. But then the second upload was from the photo copy that was on his hard drive. And although Google Photos still reported that it uploaded a file, it noticed that there was already one like it there, and so it did not. Okay? Is that, hopefully that's good enough. So no, Google Photos does not upload exact duplicates, even if they are in a different folder. That is still the exact same file. But if you have edited that photo in any way, then it's not a duplicate. All right. Adding a photo to an album a second time. So I think that one was fairly quick. We can just do that over.
Well, I think that worked fine. It was only when I was showing the screens of the...
Okay, is that true? Did people see?
Yeah, when we were on the screen, it was okay, maybe.
Maybe Dennis's isn't there anymore. Somebody said that they really wanted to know the answer to that question, and I don't know which question it was.
Oh well, maybe we'll get in it, and if he's a member, we'll talk about it
in the backstage.
Show.
Yeah.
Okay. If you use the trash can, yeah, I think that was all okay. It was just when I was showing the screen and we were not on the screen. Okay. How do I add text to a photo?
Okay. Google Photos can't add text directly to a photo. Now it can add a description. So showing on my phone here, the place you add a description is by swiping up on the picture. And there's the description right there. Nice campground. So at any time, you can just swipe up and you can see that description. On a computer, when you are looking at just this photo, that description will appear underneath it. But Google Photos does not have any way to add text right onto a photo. But if you add text using some other method on your phone, Google Photos will see that and upload it. I'm going to use the iPhone to demonstrate this. And now I can use this app, the Photos app that comes with the iPhone. It will add text. So I'm just going to pull up this. This was a restaurant we were at called Skipper's, I think.
Right.
Skipper's. And I just want to put the word Skipper's right on it. Well, edit, and then more, and then markup, and then plus, and then text. So you need to know where it is, but it is there. And I can just edit the text and type Skippers. And then I can move that around to wherever I want and tap done and done again. And the picture that is on this phone now has that word on it. Well, Google Photos sees the pictures that are on the phone. So we just have to wait a minute, and it is backing it up. We won't see it. So there is the photo with the text on it. And the Samsung has one like that, and the Snapseed app. So just know that you can add text to photos with some other app, and then Google Photos will see it if it's on your phone.
Okay. Very cool.
And that fancy text, like is in the sample here, that's with Snapseed. We do a whole course just on Snapseed. I love that. It has these fancy, but just for plain text, there might be better options that just came with your phone.
All right, let's see if we have any questions there. Can you see?
All right, Michael Daniels says, can't you just do markup? Well, obviously, I don't use that tool very often. There probably is an easier way. You just went straight to markup.
Bill wants to know, will the zip folders work on different operating systems? If it is.
Yes. So I think you're saying when you download an album to your computer, it becomes a zip file. On Windows, you right-click and extract all. On Mac, for example, the exact same file I think you just double click on it and it will unzip it. Yes.
Okay. And Chris asks, can they be put on the SD card on a Chromebook?
Sure. Yes. If it can be seen in the file navigation dialog box, they can be put there.
And Richard says, so in Snapseed, if I make a change to the photo, like making it pop, that it don't consider it as a duplicate, even though it's the same picture.
Yes, it is a different picture after you've edited it.
And okay. Good deal. So, Chris, how do I keep just one photo from a burst?
Bursts. Aren't bursts fun? In case you don't know what we're talking about, a burst photo is when...
There's the camera up there.
Okay. Is when you hold down on the shutter button a little too long and it starts telling you, oh my goodness, I just took 10 photos. Now, sometimes you want to. I mean, if you're at the pool with your grandkids and they're diving in, taking a burst means you have an actual photo of them at every split second as they're going into the water. But you usually don't want to keep them all. So notice on that burst that I just took, there's a little number 10 and an image that represents multiple pictures. And when I open it, I'll see that it's not just one, but there is one that has been pre-selected as the best one. Well, what if that's not the one I want? I mean, there's these...
I wasn't moving much.
No, you weren't moving much. But let's say that this first one I like better. Well, if you notice the options down at the bottom, I'm in Google Photos, and the options down at the bottom have a different button. This third one in here only appears on burst photos. If I tap it, I'll get 3 choices. I can choose just to set that one as the main photo, or I can keep this photo only, or I can create an animation out of them. Pretty cool. Now, if you tap that button and these don't appear, just wait. The photo has to have been uploaded before these appear. So if you just take the photo and immediately go in, the options might not be there. Just wait. So if I say keep this photo only, then the other 9 have been moved to the trash.
Cool. A couple of questions here. What to use on Windows 10 to add the text?
Photos. The Photos app that comes with
10.
Windows 10. Have I done it? It does, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure it has add text. The Photos app that comes with Windows 10.
And Lawrence says
80%.
Yeah. Lawrence says when I add text to photo on Snapseed, new photo does not retain location info?
True. True.
Not a good thing.
Well, not if you really want the location info. You can add it back, in Google Photos. You can add a location, a map location, not a geotag location, but
okay. Can you sort by file names? No.
No.
Next.
Yeah, no. You can't sort by file names. Number 1, when a photo is up on the web, have you ever realized that there really is no file? I mean, the file name is in there in the metadata of the photo, but the file identifier as far as the web goes and as far as Google Photos goes, is a huge name URL. So the web does not care about file names anymore. That being said, I still think it's no excuse. A lot of people want to be able to sort by file names. They work with the files on their computer and they change the file names and they want to be able to sort. If you are one of those people, I recommend that you click on Settings, and the menu, the main Google Photos menu, and go down to Send Feedback and put in that you want to be able to sort by file name, because you are not the only one.
When I get a new phone, what do I need to do to be sure I have all my photos?
Aha. It's a piece of cake. That's why I use Google products, is I can get a new phone, install Google Photos, boom, all of my pictures are back. If you do it right. Before you give up your old phone, check the account that is being used, because it might not be the one you think. So I'm going to show you on my old phone, and then I'm going to have a pretend new phone here. So here is my phone. Menu, Settings, Backup and Sync, and there is the account that these photos are being backed up to. Realize that could be different, not usually, but it could be different from this account here. These are the photos that are being viewed. What you need to know before you give up your old phone is that, first of all, that your backup is complete. You want to make sure that all the photos on this phone have been backed up to your Google account in the cloud. Then, which account is it? Backup and Sync, that is the account it's being backed up to. Then, when you get your new phone, and this is our extra phone that we wipe out and we give to our imaginary friend Alan, all you have to do is install the Google Photos app. Play Store, Google Photos, mine is already installed. When I open it, the very first time you open it, it should step you through. It should ask you what account. This one is just already installed, and it says there's no pictures here. Well, what account am I looking at? It's looking at Alan's account. So I have to add my account to it, and you better know your username and password. And then you have to add that username and password. So it is.
That's not right.
That. And. You have to be able to spell, too. You have to be able to type. Now, here is the real test. Okay. And hopefully I did that right. I have two-step verification on.
And so should you.
And I tapped the screen before I did the right thing. Resend. There we go. And all I have to do on this one is say yes. And that's all you have to do. And then wait, and all of my photos will now be seen on this device. There. Okay. And it takes a minute. Yeah. Well, this is not a particularly good phone. Say, this is our extra phone. It's our $69, $59.
That's right, a Walmart phone.
$59 Walmart phone, just to have an extra phone for playing with. So we might have to
come back.
Go on to the next question and come back and show you.
It'll pop up. All right, let's see. How to change the date of a photo. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's over here.
Hi, this is Chris Gould with Geeks on Tour, and this tutorial video is about how you can use Google Photos to change the date of a photo. For example, on December 1st, I scanned in these old photos. Now, luckily, this particular picture shows me the date it was taken. I love having that. So it was not taken on December 1st, 2017. It was in June 1962. And I would like it to show up in place in that date order rather than in December 2017. So on a computer, in the web browser version of Google Photos, you can open the picture, click on the little eye, and find the date for the photo, click the little pencil to edit it, and then you can type in, it was June 1962, right? Now I have no idea what day, so I'm just going to put in the 1st. And when you click Save, that date has been changed and the photo is now in order in your timeline library of photos with other photos from 1962. So let's do that again. This picture right here, I do not have an actual date. It obviously was in winter time, and I think that was around 1965. So I'm going to click the edit under date, make it 1965 and January, and once again I'll just make it the 1st and save. And now that picture is in order with other pictures in the early 1960s. Scroll back up to the top. Now these 3 were taken on the same trip, so I can select all 3 of them. And then, instead of clicking the eye, I just click the 3-dot menu and edit date and time. And I have the choice to shift dates and time. So this is for if you just want to change the time when your camera was on the wrong time zone or something like that. Or if you say, no, these weren't taken today, they were taken 10 days ago. But here I want to set one date and time. And that trip I know was in 1989 in October. I don't know the day, so I'll leave it the 1st and click Save. And now those pictures have moved to 1989. Now a couple things to know. First, this can be done on the PC version, the web version, either PC or Mac, of Google Photos, or on the iOS, the Apple version. Currently, it's not available on Android. Another thing to know is that these dates only affect your Google Photos. If you download this picture, the date will still be the day that you scanned it. The date that we're changing right here is just in the Google Photos database about your pictures. It's not actually with the metadata of the picture. But as long as you're using Google Photos, this is great that you can scan pictures anytime and then you can put them in order where they really belong.
Okay. This is something new.
Yeah, a Google Photos course. But first, I noticed that Catherine Tracy in the comments says that she just edited a photo in Snapseed and it kept the location. So I lied.
She does that to me all the time.
I
It's
lied.
okay.
Somebody said that theirs didn't show the location, and that made sense to me. So I said, but I just checked mine, and sure enough, a photo edited in Snapseed still has the location.
They're changing things all the time. I think that's maybe an update.
It could be, but in any case, yes, your location doesn't go away. And for text on the photo, I just looked at photos on Windows 10 for a minute, and believe it or not, it has animated text, but I can't find just plain text. So on the computer, I still use Picasa. I still use Picasa to put text on photos and to make collages on my computer.
Yeah, and I'm using the Windows Photos app on my Windows 10 computer if I need to do something like that. But I usually do it on my smartphone, and I use Snapseed.
Yeah, I love Snapseed.
Yep.
Love using the phone or an iPad.
Are you finally going to get to this?
All right. I have so much material on our website, and people who just want... Anyway, I'm starting to try to make courses, complete courses that guide you through step by step using a whole other system called Thinkific. So I need some people to check it out and give me some feedback. I plan on charging $20 for this course, but if you will be my beta tester, just use the coupon code BUTTONSHOW and it will be free. It's 100% discount. So the link to the course is at our website, geeksontour.com, and then /Google-Photos. And it's right in the first couple of paragraphs there. You'll see a link to the Google Photos course. When you sign up, use the coupon code BUTTONSHOW and it will be free. It probably would take a couple hours to go through the whole thing, but that's also something I would love to hear from you as to how long it takes. And I'm still working on it.
Okay.
No, this is for the backstage. So we have a few bonus questions here that we will handle in our backstage for our members.
App of the week, Zoom. This is something that we use in our backstage pass, right? How does it work? Zoom is for cloud meetings, and it's a free app. We pay a little bit to Zoom to be able to do these things for large groups and for longer than 40 minutes. But it's available on the Apple and the Android. And do you have it on one of these?
Oh.
Or we're just talking about it?
Yeah, just talking about it.
Okay.
One of these days, we do need to do a whole thing on Zoom. Meanwhile, you can go to Michael Daniels' channel. He's done a lot on Zoom. But what I'm thinking is there any reason why Zoom couldn't be used just for a two-people video call also?
It's a really cool tool. It's a little bit overkill for a lot of people, but if you have it installed, it's easy to do. You just tell the other person, you set up a Zoom call, and you just tell the other person or give them the link, send them the link. It could be a telephone number if you have the paid version, and they can come on at any time. So we're working with Zoom, and so we say for our backstage pass, if you don't have a computer with a camera and microphone, like a lot of desktop computers don't have cameras and microphones, you can use a phone or a tablet with Zoom app installed. It works great. We do invite you to become a member at Geeks on Tour. Just go to our website and click on Join Now. See our website, Geeks on Tour, click the weekly class menu and scroll down to see all of the show archives. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell. That'll give you notifications for any time we go live. Any other questions? Let's see. Richard, I would use Duo for a one-to-one call. It's a great app. Absolutely. And Michael Daniels has some more information on those. I think he has some videos. But Duo is a Google app, and it's free, and it is a good tool for chat. You can also use video calls with iOS on Android, right? There's all kinds of tools to do it.
And screen share, though, is something that's kind of special with Zoom.
You're right.
I use it when I cannot help somebody just in writing. I need to see their screen. We can connect via a Zoom call, and they can share their Android or their iPhone screen with me, and I can see what the problem is.
Maybe. Well, did you learn something? True or false? If you upload one photo to Google Photos twice, you will have a duplicate in your photo library.
False, if it really is the same photo.
If you add a photo to an album, when that photo is already in the album, it will show up in the album once or twice.
Just once.
That's a good thing.
It gets rejected the second time.
When you get a new phone, just install the Google Photos app and you will see all of your photos if they were all backed up from your old phone and you know what?
The account that was being used and your username and password.
And she can prove it.
I don't think we showed.
They did finally show up on this old phone.
Right, but it's still working on getting. Now, what's it getting? Because these photos are in the cloud.
It's getting thumbnails, right?
Right. These little miniature representations of the photos are thumbnails that come down to your phone. So there we go.
All right. You can change a photo's date using Google Photos on A, iOS, B, Android, or C, web on the computer.
iOS or web.
And
I have no idea why, but changing a date is not available on the Android version. Yet.
True or false? An extra edit button will appear on burst photos, allowing you to pick one to keep and delete the rest.
True.
And that's really handy. All right, reminder, your Backstage Pass, if you are a Google Geeks on Tour Premium member, go ahead and get that link and join us after this show. I think I'm going to be drinking heavily. What is the webpage, Chris, that lists all of our weekly shows?
Geeksontour.com, and then the menu is Weekly Class.
And the webpage that lists all of our recent newsletters?
Geeksontour.com, and the menu item is Blogs and News. Our current newsletter has just been posted there.
Cool. And why do people pay nearly $60 to join Geeks on Tour?
Well, the benefits are to be able to ask us questions on our Q&A page, hundreds of tutorial videos, written notes from these shows, and just say thank you for all the stuff that we give away for free. And the Backstage Pass. And
Cool.
Soon, courses. So those courses will be for sale for anybody, but they will be included with membership.
All right, next time we will be on the road, so we will not be doing a live show, but we will have a encore presentation for our weekly class. And if you have an idea for a topic, let us know. Leave a comment on the YouTube video. Click on like down there, too. Don't forget that.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thanks,
All right,
Warren.
That's it for this week. I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
And we're Geeks on Tour, and we'll see you next.
Keep pushing those buttons.
Oh, man.
What does this button do?
I don't know.
What does this button do?
Don't touch that button. I have to find somewhere where we can do all of this stuff, huh?